Hi guys, welcome to Learn Electronics Repair, and I have this today. So this is a repair job. See, it goes all the way up there, all the way down here, and then at the bottom we have that. So this is a HK Audio Polar 8. We have a sub or bass speaker, and then this lot on top obviously. Okay, so this is your treble horn speakers basically, if you want to call them that. And this is a bit of a strange one because the guy who owns this, a local singer, does a lot of the bars and clubs and such like, he says that's working, this isn't working, no sound. And he didn't really mention the sub, yeah, but that's weird because and I don't know if you can hear that, but like this bass speaker is like making a nasty rattling noise. Okay. There is no audio out of this, and there's clear audio out of that. Okay. But there's definitely a problem with this. But it is the strange thing. If you look at this, it has a jack plug on one end, so that connects to the other speaker, and this has a socket, and that connects to there, another jack plug. Okay. And if we measure across the jack plug in here, it just reads open, okay? But the audio is obviously coming through into that speaker, through this one. So if we take a jack plug and plug it into here, and we measure across it, we see about 5 ohms, okay. This was probably 8 ohms speaker or thereabouts. It always is quite a bit lower to a DC multimeter, because to audio frequencies, AC, it has more impedance, so it's higher. Although of course the impedance will vary with frequency, yeah, so it's one of those things you can never say it's exact unless you specify at what frequency, I guess. But obviously the signal's getting through to this, and I thought, well, that suggests that the connection is passing through, but the speakers are open circuit. And then I realised that this actually is a lot lighter than that one. Yeah, I can't show that on camera unless I got some scales, of course. This is much heavier than this one. And I thought, well, you know, actually I think this is just an extension bar. It doesn't have speakers in it, it's just like a housing of one of those with an input and an output. This one has a flat top on the end, so you can't put another one on top of that easily. And this is just, from what I could see, a housing. Now you could open it up, these little plasticky rubber things come out, the screws, but a quick search on Google and that is just an extension bar. So how the customer can say it's faulty, there's no sound coming out of that, I have no idea, because there could never have been any sound coming out of that. And this thing's not new. He said his son had been using it, I believe. Anyway, that's not a fault. Yeah, this sounds fine. This is not supposed to make any sound, but there appears to be a problem with the sub, so let's have a look at that. Okay, so I've actually disconnected the top speaker thing. I'm sure we can run just the sub, we'll soon find out. Yeah. And you can hear it now, I'm sure. So, although there could be a problem with the amplifier, I suspect That's a problem with the speaker. It sounds to me like something loose, or maybe this has been overdriven. I seem to find this quite a bit. Possibly a damaged speaker cone or something like that. So before I start looking at the amplifier, and I wasn't driving that at high power or anything, so it wouldn't have been limiting or clipping. Let's look at the speaker. So this might be a quick repair, we will see. Okay, and at first glance it looks alright, but it's not alright. So I think you can see this. Let me just get an angle on it. There's a tear in the speaker here onto this foam part. Okay, so that's why the speaker sounds horrible, because it's got quite a large tear. Okay, so really that needs replacing, but the customer asked me if I could get it working. He wants it for tomorrow, yeah, and I don't think I'm going to find one of these speakers on the island. So I'll try, let's take it out and I'll see if I can actually fix this temporarily with some silicone glue. I've mentioned this to him, so you may be able to repair this sort of damage, but I wouldn't necessarily trust it for very long, yeah, but it might get him past Friday. He says he normally works in venues where they have their own sound system. So let's get the speaker out. It needs to come out anyway to see exactly what it is. So you can see down here now clearly the actual power supply here. Looks like it has a standby supply and a main supply by the looks of it. See the bridge rectifier, large capacitors here. And we should recognise them now, large inductors on the output, the Class D amplifiers. So we can clearly see what is wrong with this now, yeah. There's no like kind of other damage, looks like water or anything. I think this has just literally been driven too hot. Does not surprise me here at all. So I'm going to replace the speaker. They're about €65 or so to get a replacement, a proper one of these. That's the actual speaker, okay. But the customer asked me if I would try and repair it to keep him going. So I said I will, but you know, the harder you drive it, the more likely it is to fail. I will not guarantee the repair. I've repaired cones before and splits like this in the cone, just with contact adhesive basically. This sort of stuff, a bit like a Yoo-hoo. Apparently there is some proper speaker cone repair adhesives. I'll order some and have a play at some time with those. I know I've seen Power Sound, local company, using silicone glue basically to do this, so I'm going to try this one and let's see what happens. I mean, at the end of the day, well, there's nothing to lose, yeah. And that is not going to work. I end up cutting this thing open. It's just one solid lump. That's what you get from the cheap Chinese shops here. Totally useless. Suppose at least this bit works. So we'll go with this technique then, the impact adhesive. If you've seen the subwoofer I use often when I'm testing amplifiers, that's effectively held together with this stuff. Okay, the speaker. The customer said keep it. Yeah, I can get rid of that little blob in a minute. So we'll just spread quite a bit on here. I'm kind of pushing it open slightly. I'll just come back and clean this up a little bit in a minute. Let's get this in. Okay. Like so. Just wipe some of this off the cone. Not that it will actually affect the sound particularly. Okay. A bit messy. I'll let that set and then we'll probably put some on from the other side as well, okay? Do it like in a couple of different coats of it. This is normally flexible enough to hold the thing together at least for a while. That one I've been using as a test speaker has been like that for a year, although admittedly don't use it every day. Okay, right. Okay, it's mostly set. It's slightly tacky now, so you can see it sort of works. Yeah, you can see the cone is attached to the foam edge. But I'm going to put some more glue on. This got a little bit messy here. It kind of ran down onto the cone. So I'll use a slightly different technique this time. So I'm just going to wedge something under the edge there. This is now much more level. Okay. We'll put some glue onto this piece of card. Plenty there, I think. But we can always add some more if we need. And then I'm going to use a paintbrush this time. Okay. And more gently put the glue directly onto the area where it was damaged. I want to get either side, obviously. I want to build at least a couple, 3 layers of glue up on this. There's some stringy bits, but we can get rid of that later. Okay. Bit more. And I'm going to go a little way past where the end of the tear was. Okay. And same at this end. Right. These stringy bits, these will soon come off. I'm not too worried about them at all. Just let that set again and then let's see what it looks like. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I'm going to put a 3rd layer on, especially in this area. So the idea is, from what I've found, to build up quite a thick layer of this, kind of dab it on. Okay. Okay. Right. Again, I'll just remove these stringy bits. Yeah, they come off easily enough once it's dry anyway. So we'll let that lie until tomorrow now, and then let's see how it works. I'm going to see if I can add some glue into the back of this as well. It's a little bit hard to see down here, but if I can get it on both sides of the tear, that's probably good. So the torch is helping me. Of course, it goes behind this metal support. It's bound to, yeah. And this one is a fairly enclosed speaker. Some are easier than others to get down here, to be honest. Okay, so that's a fairly thin layer. Shouldn't take too long for that one to dry. The other side, I've left this overnight. This glue stays slightly tacky when it's dried, which makes it sort of a bit flexible, a bit rubbery. It's quite a thick layer, so hopefully that'll work, at least for now. It occurred to me actually, 4 AM moment when I was awake last night, that possibly a better way to do this, and I've not tried this by the way, this is conjecture, yeah. But if I took some, I thought at first linen, but no, gauze, like you would find like a bandage, yeah. Get a piece of bandage and just try and cut a piece that will fit against this. Yeah, and then soak that with glue, press it on, and then maybe a layer of glue over the top, and maybe that would make them quite strong. So I'm going to try that next time I have a torn speaker, see how well that works. Will it work? This? Well, we're going to find out very soon. Okay, let's see if this works. Not make any nasty noises anymore, so yeah, I'd say that's got it. Okay, so that was definitely a success. How long it will last, your guess is as good as mine, I guess. 2 guesses in a sentence. So I shall give this back to the customer. He wanted it back today anyway. I'm going to tell you, Luke, you know, you need to replace this bass speaker. I'll give him the prize for it. Does this sort of repair have any effect on the actual audio quality of the speaker? It probably does change it. Does this sort of repair have an effect that you would actually notice? Probably not. Will it last forever? Certainly not, but I'll give it a probably not. Okay, will the customer come back and have a proper speaker fitted after this weekend? Well, if it works, probably not. Yeah, because you can only lead the horse to water. So I won't order another speaker unless either A, he pays for it before he takes this, or B, he brings it back to me so I've got the thing here when I order the speaker. One or the other, I'm quite happy with that. Interested to know what you guys think, and my idea about using bandages, yeah, or the cloth from the bandage down there. Let me know any other methods you may have for this. I'm always interested to try these ideas of you guys, yeah, when we have a similar problem in the future. So let me know, and I look forward to seeing you all soon again on Weird Electronics Repair. Ciao for now, guys.